In the first decade of Darth Sidious's apprenticeship under the Dark Lord of the Sith Darth Plagueis, Sidious was subjected to many confident predictions from Plagueis that they would succeed in carrying out the Sith Grand Plan. In their lifetimes, through their own cunning and machinations, they would see the fall of both the Republic and the Jedi. As a student within the lineage of the Rule of Two, Sidious knew the Sith had been gaining strength in the shadows for a millennium. By ending the infighting that plagued the Sith for millennia, their power with the dark side was allowed to grow, so they would be unstoppable by their ancient enemies within the Jedi Order. But it wasn't merely that the Sith were growing in power. The centuries since Darth Bane had seen the Sith take numerous steps that would weaken the Republic, doing everything they could to create conflict and chaos by antagonizing inter-system rivalries and outward displays of hostility towards the Republic itself. By the era of Plagueis and Sidious, Plagueis was confident enough that he would have no hesitation in telling his apprentice that the Grand Plan would be achieved by them, the Republic and Jedi destroyed, and the galaxy turning to the Sith for answers. Sidious in no way questioned whether the dark side and Sith were capable of overthrowing the light and Jedi, nor did he have any reason to believe the Republic was capable of holding back the onslaught of the Sith. The Sith would grow powerful enough to destroy the Jedi, and the Republic would grow weaker through Sith-influenced conflicts and its own incompetence. But there was another crucial part of their grand plan for the galaxy, where Sidious was less confident within the first decade of his training under Plagueis, still 3 decades away from the outbreak of the Clone War. Over the first 10 years of his training, Plagueis would make it clear to Sidious that true power for the purposes of achieving the Grand Plan wasn't merely found in mastery of the dark side, but also political astuteness. Even more, while Plagueis and Sidious were trained to be deadly lightsaber duelists who wielded enormous powers with the Force, Plagueis was adamant that a cunning politician was capable of achieving more than any 2 Sith Lords armed with lightsabers. Combined with Plagueis' insistence that Sidious be mentored and rise within the political ranks on his homeworld of Naboo, the point is clear. The successful completion of the Sith Grand Plan required political mastery of the highest degree, a necessary element for destroying the Republic and Jedi. This importance was made even more apparent when Plagueis and Sidious began crafting their plan to destroy the Jedi from within, and then solidifying their power by dealing with Force sensitives who were born during their reign. As Plagueis revealed, his plan required Sidious to reach the position of Supreme Chancellor of the Republic. Before Plagueis and Sidious knew it was possible to clone an army on Kamino for a war that was still more than 30 years away and wasn't yet known to them, and when Sidious hadn't even reached the position of Senator of Naboo, nor even traveled outside of the galaxy's colonies and expansion regions, let alone Coruscant, Sidious was expected to become Supreme Chancellor of the Republic, a necessary achievement for their Grand Plan. It was a lot for Sidious to take in, and he would admit as much after Plagueis informed him of his becoming Supreme Chancellor, seen within the Darth Plagueis novel. Sidious trusted Plagueis' vision that predicted the fall of the Republic and Jedi during their lifetimes. At some level, he knew it was true. However, he also had to admit that envisioning it was hard and difficult to grasp. The grand design of his master was so large with so many moving parts that Sidious knew he wouldn't be able to guide the galaxy into the future they required, only Plagueis could. And this isn't surprising given Sidious's lack of experience previously mentioned. But all of this would change in an important moment for Sidious, where he would place his confidence not just in the power of the dark side or the weakness of the Republic, but in his own political capabilities to rise to the position of Supreme Chancellor, a position he knew would finally allow the Sith to succeed in destroying the Republic and Jedi. This would be the moment when Sidious would first step foot on Coruscant after becoming Naboo's new senator and representative within the Galactic Senate. What Sidious found on Coruscant immediately exceeded his expectations, as it was the perfect landscape in which a Sith Lord could rise through the ranks to the highest echelon of galactic politics. Through the practices and examples set by then Supreme Chancellor Thoros Daris, Coruscant had seen a significant increase in corruption. The fallout from Daris's ways was tremendous. The tens of thousands who worked within the Senate or lobbied on behalf of the galaxy's corporations and cartels had quickly transformed Coruscant into a unique sanctuary of self-indulgence, with individuals coming from across the galaxy to do what it took to win favor, no matter what the consequences were. Sidious recognized the political sphere of Coruscant, with its desire to simply enjoy life on the Republic capital, was completely unaware of the growing dissatisfaction aimed at the Senate and the growth of inter-system rivalries, pirates, and organized crime syndicates, all of which would eventually find their way to Coruscant. Sidious found Coruscant to be a paradise for anyone with credits and connections, something the Sith Order had in abundance. For the first time, Sidious was confident he was well on his way to becoming Supreme Chancellor. In fact, it would be a simple task for Sidious as he defined it. He simply had to gain the confidence of his peers by doing whatever was popular on Coruscant at the time, such as renewing his season passes at the Galaxy's Opera. Sidious knew that even without the assistance from the Force, he could have used his political skills to become Supreme Chancellor, as the Republic had no means of saving itself with the Senate located on Coruscant, as he was the beneficiary of Supreme Chancellor Darius and the new era of corruption that emerged on the capital. But more important was the realization for Sidious that he would succeed, with the grand design envisioned by Plagueis and himself being a relatively easy feat when it came to obtaining the position of Supreme Chancellor, where they could bring about the final stages of the Sith Grand Plan. Sidious's first time on Coruscant is one of my favorite points of demarcation in the Plagueis novel, separating pre-Senator Palpatine from Senator Palpatine, where we see that Sidious no longer had difficulty grasping that he'd see the destruction of the Republic and Jedi in his lifetime, a key moment of clarity when he knew the Sith would succeed beyond just its mastery of the dark side. So there we have it, the importance of Sidious's first time traveling to Coruscant. Thank you very much to all of the Patreon members of Star Wars Reading Club, as your support is so greatly appreciated. You can find all of our social media links and a link to our Star Wars gaming channel in the description below, for updates and even more Star Wars content. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. If not for me... For the importance of opera passes.